Okay, now we're going to take our last dish from this mushroom base, and that's a mushroom soup. Not necessarily a creamy mushroom soup, but rather a stock, a roux-thickened stock mushroom soup. A little lighter, a little healthier, but by pureeing our mushroom base, like we've done here, it really gives the illusion that it's a creamy mushroom soup. So we're going to start by making just a classic blonde roux, which is equal parts of fat and flour, and equal parts by weight. So if you don't want to weigh your flour and your butter, you don't have to be that exact. You can use a 3-to-2 ratio of flour to fat by volume. So we're going to melt this butter in this beautiful braising pan. Get it nice and bubbly. And I'm using this flattened whisk as a roux whisk. It's a handy little device because it allows you to have maximum contact surface with the bottom of the pan, and it's perfect for cooking roux. Alright, so we got our butter all melted there. And slowly add the flour. Kind of stir to incorporate that. You want to cook this a little while because we want to cook the flour taste out of the roux. We're not cooking it as long as you would for a dark roux or brown roux. We just want to cook it enough to get the flour taste out to a stage called blonde roux. It takes on the consistency of roughly wet sand. So while the roux is going to cook a little bit before we add our stock, we're also going to saute our criminy mushrooms. That will be the kind of topping of the soup. Got a little melted butter in there. Taking the criminy mushroom, which is the baby bella, thinly sliced it, and add that to the pan. I'll give it a little toss to coat. Season that. We'll go back and check on our roux here to make sure it doesn't burn. See, it's starting to bubble. See this right in here as it starts to look like wet sand. That's how we know we've cooked it long enough. Okay, you can see our roux is about done. It's got the wet sand look over all of it. So we're going to start to slowly incorporate our stock. You can use a vegetable stock, you can use a beef stock, you can use a chicken stock, whichever your preference is for this. Any of the flavors will work. You want to whisk continuously while you're incorporating the stock to prevent from having any lumps in your soup base. And when you're incorporating stock and roux, you want to typically have both of them relatively close in temperature. Not exactly the same temperature, and it helps prevent lumps. So you can have a warmed stock combined with a hot roux, or you can cool your roux a little bit and combine it with really hot stock. It just kind of depends on what you're going to do with it. I want to keep whisking here to break up all these little, that you end up with a smooth. Finish the saute on those criminis. Stock here. I'm using unsalted chicken stock, so stock we make here in the school. So we'll have to make sure we season this, but it's better to season it in the final dish than in the stock itself. That way you can control the seasoning depending on the end use of the stock. At this point, this base you could go to a noodle soup, to a chicken soup, anything you want. It's got that nice thickened chicken soup aroma. And we're going to let that come to a boil so that it really, the roux is fully incorporated and thickens. And then we'll add our puree. Okay, we have our velouté here. It's nice and thickened up. Haven't added any seasoning yet. We're not going to fold in the mushroom puree. And This is just a mushroom base. It's been added to a food processor or to a blender to puree it. You can leave as much texture as you like. I took this pretty fine because we're going to add a little creaminess to the top of the bowl and give you a little al dente mouthfeel crunch in the soup. Just want to stir this until it's nice and incorporated. It has that presence of cream of mushroom soup. Although there's been no trick of TV here. No more cream has been added. And now that I got that fully incorporated, I do want to check for my seasoning. Okay. Because the base was probably pretty well seasoned, but now we've almost tripled the liquid, it definitely needs a little more salt. Chefs like to use kosher salt. Two reasons. Only 60% as much sodium in kosher salt. So even though it looks like I'm being heavy-handed, it doesn't end up affecting the dish too much. And the second is the structure. This kosher salt dries. It's a little pyramid structure, and it sticks to food so well. Chefs prefer kosher salt for those two reasons. I'm going to add a little crushed black pepper, fresh black pepper in here as well. Let's check our seasoning again. Much better. All right, our soup is almost done. Next is the plating. Got a little garnish we're going to put on top of our soup. It's a sage cream. It's equal parts of mascarpone, which is a Italian cream cheese, really rich, nice flavors, not as sweet as American cream cheese, and a little bit of sour cream, equal parts. I'm just going to stir that up. I'm going to add fresh sage. Just fold that together. You can totally make this ahead of time, but it's actually better if it sits for a little while. This will be the topping. Just a little dollop on top of our mushroom soup. Simple sage cream. So now we're ready to plate up our soup. Add that puree adjusted to seasoning. Ladle it into this soup bowl. We're going to add a little bit of mouthfeel with the creaminess right on top. Just sauteed lightly, a little bit of salt, a little bit of butter. A little bit of our sage cream that we made. Just on top, like so. And we'll finish the garnish with a little height, a little green pop, the fried sage leaf. And here is our non-cream of mushroom soup, served with a balsamic vinaigrette spinach salad.